to Going for Gold, the Olympic hockey podcast. I am here today with my two guests, Max Cote and Carter Hamer, and we're super excited to be diving into each group, going through each team, looking at their rosters, and predicting how we think they'll do throughout the tournament. So, we're going to start off right away here with Group A, and our first team is France. Boys, how do we think the French are going to be doing?
Yeah, I mean the French haven't been at this tournament for the last three Olympics, dating back to like
2002.
2002, so even longer than that. So they they've had a better roster recently. They've got a couple guys in the NHL. They're gonna be led by Alex Texier, the Montreal Canadiens forward. He's got 17 points in 30 games this year since signing for Montreal. Pretty good production. He's playing on their top line almost every night. So, he's got that skill. If they get to a shootout, I mean, he's going to be deadly. I don't think they'll get to a shootout with anyone, but maybe in like the last game. But yeah, and in his career, he's got 91 points in 19 games in his career for France, which is an impressive number. But I mean, he's not playing against top opposition, right? Couple other notables. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, their captain, former NHLer, played a ton of games. So, and then you got Stefan DaCosta, who's having a great year in the KHL, but
former senator, I might add.
Yeah, former senator, played in the NHL, one of their most prolific scorers in international play. But I wouldn't give them much of a chance in this group. I would have a hard time seeing them getting any kind of wins in this group.
Yeah, I mean they're in like Czech and Switzerland are both like very deep teams, and for a team like France that really isn't deep at all, it's gonna be tough for them. I mean there's a reason they haven't been in the Olympics since 2002. They got one singular point in that Olympics, so luckily they're back now. Hopefully they can get more than 1 point, and you're right, their best chance might be going to a shootout and Texier shooting every single time.
Yeah, it's just tough when you're going up against those teams with NHL players scattered throughout the lineup. So that's going to bring us over to Switzerland. What do you guys think about their roster?
Yeah, we got Switzerland to finish third. Their most prominent players, Roman Josi, he's gonna be wearing the C for them. He's got 37 points in 43 games, so he's having a good season for Nashville. We know what he brings. I mean, power play quarterback. They're gonna have a really good power play. They're gonna rely on that heavily. They got some good top end talent. They're gonna be following up that with Nico Hischier, right? We know New Jersey Devils center. He's a really good defensive center, so we could see him match up against other teams' top lines and try to shut down. This tournament's going to come down to a lot of line matching. When you're the home team, you got to take advantage and try to shut down the other team's top lines. As a lot of these teams have one good line, and then it kind of falls off. So there's going to be a lot of matchups at play, but Nico Hischier is going to have to bring that scoring touch too. I mean, we know he has it, so he's going to have to bring it, especially on the power play. To round out their roster, there's guys like Kevin Fiala from the Kings. Again, having a good season, 38 points, pretty solid. Again, a good power play guy, so that's going to be absolutely massive. They're going to need Akira Schmid to play really good. I don't know what you've thought of him this year for Vegas, but
He's played a lot. I mean, Aiden Hill's been injured a lot this year. They got Carter Hart, but he couldn't play till December, so he's got a lot of play time. I don't think his stats are ideal, but I think that's the best thing you can get is playing time. Then he knows that he's gonna have to be a very good goaltender for Switzerland if they want to do anything. Which I think. I mean, we were talking earlier, but we both think that they can probably upset, maybe make a run, win in 1 or 2 games in the playoffs. The last time that they were in the Olympics, when NHL players were there, they went 1-4, so they got 2 points. They were able to get one win. It was an overtime win, which I think I can confidently say I think they're going to end up getting more than 2 points this Olympics, and this is the deepest team they sent in, if not forever. So they can have the one shutdown line. They still have one other line there that can maybe have some scoring. And you're right. I think it's going to come down to Schmidt. If he can save the savables and make a couple really nice saves, that team could make a poise for a run.
Yeah, it's worth noting they had a really good run at the last two World Championships. So not best on best, but close enough. They've had some good tournaments. And then, yeah, you got guys like Siegenthaler, Moser, Kurashev, Timo Meyer, who we didn't even talk about, who's a pretty elite player in the NHL. Yeah. Niederreiter, who's a good veteran guy. He's been there. He's played for them a while. So they got guys to round out that roster. I mean, it's a little bit top heavy for sure, but I think we're going to say that about a lot of these teams. But I think they can give Czechia a good game, and then we'll see what they do against Canada. But yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, I think Carter, like you said, could be poised for a run when you have that many top end players. And I think another team in this group that you could say a similar thing about would be Czech. So, what do you guys think about the Czech roster?
yeah. I mean, David Pasternak. He
Yeah,
is the guy, right? Like he is an elite player in the NHL, probably top 5 this season.
yeah,
So the Czech will go where Pasternak will take them, right? I
yeah,
mean, their roster is very good, very deep. Couple missions that I thought were interesting. Like they went with some older guys playing in Europe over some of their young talents, like the Jiricek brothers. I know
mm,
David Jiricek's not having a great year in Minnesota, bouncing between the AHL and the NHL, but his brother Adam Jiricek, like first round pick of the Blues, played awesome at the World
Very
Juniors.
good.
I thought they could have went that way, go for a little bit younger. Even guys like Sikora and Galvis, who had really good World Junior tournaments,
yeah,
maybe look to that instead. Instead, they go with the experience, and no one's more experienced than their captain, Roman Cervenka. 40 years old, tied for the oldest player at the tournament, which is impressive to say the least. 14 points in 8 games last year at the World Championships for Czechia, where they had a good run. And then this year he's got 56 points in 40 games in the Czech league. So to be doing that at 40 is impressive. Will he be able to do anything against Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon? We'll have to find out. But I got Czech as a dark horse, man. Like they're a good team. They're gonna be stingy, and they've got one of the best players in the
Yeah,
NHL. So
very good goaltender too.
yeah, their goaltending too. Good point. Lucas Dostal, I think he's going to be their guy. Young goaltender. He's been pretty good this year for Anaheim. He's got a 158, or sorry, a 295, 897, 2013, and 2 record this year. Pretty league average right there. A good team in Anaheim. Um, if he doesn't work out, they still got guys like Vrdmelka and Vladar behind him that they can rely on, a bit more experience. So, yeah, I think they're poised for a couple
mhm,
upsets. They can give Canada a game if
Yeah.
Canada's not ready.
yeah,
I think one big reason why they went with a couple older guys and younger guys is 'cause we've seen it straight up the past couple years in the World Juniors. Like their coach, they play a very structured game. They forecheck every single time. Everyone back checks. And if you look at this team on paper, like they have Nechkash, they have Pasternak, Zaka, Hurdle. They're going to be able to score. Like these young guys, I'm not saying they can't play defense or anything, but I think they want to go with more like the veteran guy that are going to be able to back check. Now I'm looking; they have Dominic Kubalik on this team, which if you don't remember, he couldn't really back check for the Sens at all, so he might get healthy scratched a couple games. But I think the coach is going to play a very structured game, especially those guys that aren't in the NHL that are just going to play a hard style of hockey that we've seen them play for so long in the World Juniors, and they probably went a little bit of smarter with those guys instead of the young, fast offensive guys.
yeah,
Yeah, I would say, like, just to round out the talk about Czech, I'm a little worried about their back end. They've got Gudis and Hronik as the only NHL guys on their roster. That's a lot of there's missing a lot of talent there on the back. There's not like we talk about Switzerland having Yossi, Siegenthaler, Moser, like 3 guys that are top 4 NHL defensemen. Gudis, all right, he's Gudis. You know, he'll probably hit someone hard or something. I
mhm,
think that's what he does. And then Hronik's a good defenseman, but then yeah, after that, that's why I kind of brought up the Jiricek brothers. Like I thought they're a little bit more dynamic offensively. They could have brought some of that to their power play and stuff, but
yeah.
we'll see what happens. I think yeah, I think they're poised for a nice little run here.
Yeah,
That might be a team that runs 5 forwards on the power play.
Could be.
yeah, they definitely got some players with the ability to score, but like you guys mentioned, the question mark is going to be on the defensive end, the goaltending, because when you're coming up against the next team that we're going to talk about here, the Canadian boys, it's going to be difficult against that firepower. So now we're into one of the big teams of the tournament, our own Canadian Canucks. What do we think about how they've constructed their roster for these Olympics?
I mean, if you're Canada, you have to be excited, right? Like we just won 4 nations last year. Now I would say they upgraded their team. I love the ads of Celebrini and Suzuki and maybe a couple other guys there that sneak in. But one thing that I think really improved from last year is the goaltending. Like if you look at like just the NHL stats right now for goaltenders, Thompson is up there as being one of the best right now. He got some Vezina votes last year. He'll probably get some more this year. Kemper as well. Now again, obviously you only have one goalie playing per game, but I think that was where they really that was where America was way better than us last year was goaltending. And Hellebuck's regressed, Swayman's regressed, Ottinger's regressed. And I think Thompson is going to be there. He's going to be really good. He is injured right now, but from what I've heard and seen, that he is practicing, so I think he'll be fine. But the team's obviously going to be able to score. I think the defense is going to be really good. I think they're going to like the coach. They have probably the best coaching staff in the tournament. John Cooper, a lot of other guys back there. They're going to play a style of hockey that's just really hard to play. That's what they've been known for. Like last time that they were in the Olympics, they won gold. They were known for their defense. Like they won the final 3-0. Teams just couldn't score on them.
Mhm.
So if they keep that, I mean, obviously they're going to be able to score. Again, I think the goaltending has been better than America, and it's probably going to come down to Canada and America. And just like we saw last year, it's probably going to come down to goaltending. Bennington made some huge saves in overtime, easily could have lost that. So we'll see what happens, obviously, but I think Canada has improved a lot, and I think America has regressed a little bit, and that's what matters.
Yeah, I think it's Canada's tournament to lose. I mean, I don't think there's really any team that matches up to what Canada can bring shift after shift after shift and keep it going for a whole 60 minutes. With the 3-point system, it's going to be super important that they don't let anything go. Like they can't let anything go to overtime to really secure that number 1 seed and not have to meet any of the top teams in that quarterfinal round. But yeah, like this, they should run this group easily. 9 points out of 9. You see the roster up there. Like who's got better forwards? Like you got
No one. It's not even
McDavid,
close.
McKinnon, Crosby's probably gonna be on the wing. Then you got two great checking lines. Like where we can shut down the other team's top lines with our third and fourth line, and then send out our first and second lines to create offense. Like I mean, you could probably roll everyone with the same amount of ice time and still win.
Yeah.
Like they won't.
Are there any particular line combinations that you're excited to see from the Canadians?
Yeah, I think like that top line we got up there, Celebrini, McDavid, and Reinhardt, that could be deadly. I mean,
Yeah.
we know McDavid can drive a line on his own, but having two guys that can score that are fast, I mean, yeah, who's gonna be able to stop them, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've seen McKinnon and Crosby last year just go
Yeah.
to work. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good team. They just do the job. Don't get too excited. Don't start looking to the future, and they should be just fine.
I really like that point of trying to get no games to overtime. Because if you remember last year in the Four Nations, they were up 3-1 against Sweden. They let Sweden come back. They had to go to overtime. I think they were up 5-2 against Finland, and Finland came back. Didn't go to overtime, but they still scored 3 late goals, and they lost to America in the round robin. So they have to clean up that, and they should be good. And I'm really excited to watch Tom Wilson. He's gonna kill someone.
Yeah, we'll see if his game can translate to the Olympic style of game. I think it should be fine because they're saying that it's going to be played more in an NHL style game. I'll build on that point there. You talk about the standings. Like the importance cannot be understated because of the line matching, right? Like you need that top seed so you're the home team so you get the last change, especially when you come up against teams like Sweden, Finland, and US.
Exactly, yeah. But you just imagine that all that firepower would be enough for Canada. So many top end players. So we could talk about them all day with so many incredible talents. But we're gonna be moving on here and go through the next couple a little bit quicker. We're gonna start with Italy. This one's an interesting one, guys. What are we thinking about the Italians?
Yeah, I mean the Italians. I mean, let's be honest, they're coming here just to have some fun. But a couple guys to look out for. There's this one guy on their team, Dustin Grasley, who played NCAA. He played at MSU for a while. In the final year, he was the assistant captain for them. Then he got drafted. Um, but he never made it to the NHL. Just played in the AHL for a couple years. Actually, played for the Bennington Senators,
Oh,
and then he played 3 years with the Hershey Bears, and he was the assistant one of the years too there. So I think there's a couple guys in this team who have played maybe the AHL, but almost all of them play in the Italian league right now. And yeah, I mean it's going to be really hard for them. There's really no one on that team that will out produce anyone else that they're going to play. So hopefully they go there, everyone stays healthy, and they have a good time.
Yeah, I'll just make a quick point on their goalie, like Damian Clara, second round pick of Anaheim a couple of years ago. So there's some promise there. He's playing in the Allsvenskan in Sweden, their top league. Pretty solid goaltending prospect. So I guess they got that to rely on.
Yeah. Well, they're going to be representing their country, so there's that. It's a special experience for any player, I'm sure. We're going to be moving on to Slovakia. What do we think about the Slovakians?
I think the Slovakians are going to have a really good tournament. I mean, they have a pretty deep team, a very young team though, like a team that is just coming here to get some experience, and then maybe a couple years down the road when they might have one or two more players for this team, might actually be able to make a run. But they have guys like Slavkovsky, they have a Pospisil, Dilibor Dvorsky, Simon Nemec, who's having a great year, and then they have some veterans like Sirnak. They have a team that kind of like a Czechia or a Switzerland that we just talked about that might not make a super deep run, but might win a couple games and could win a quarterfinal. You never know. They do have a couple goalies that are in the AHL. They're both in the AHL, actually, just in a farm system, but they still have professional hockey experience in North America, so they'll be used to that. And I think that they're just going to go out there and try to piss off some teams and maybe win a couple games. But at the end of the day, they might not do too much. But again, they're going to try to have a really good tournament. And then maybe in 4 years, they can make a deep run.
Yeah, I think that's the key for them. It's they have some young players. Use this as experience, build the experience so that they can come stronger with more of their young guys that are coming up in 4 years.
Yeah, it's going to be great experience, especially against a phenomenal team that we're going to talk about now, the Finns. What do you think, Max?
It's actually my team, Lucas DC. But I think Finland, especially their forwards, they're very fast. Like, it is smaller ice, but they'll be able to get into the zone. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of dump and chase from this team. We're gonna see them just skate in the zone. Maybe a lot of odd man rushes. If they're playing a little bit of a slower team back end, they might be able to score a lot. They have a really good shutdown line with Kapanen, Lundell, and Luosterainen, two of those being Florida Panthers, who have just won back-to-back Stanley Cups. So they're going to be two very good guys to talk to in the locker room. I just think it's the defense. The defense isn't there for me. So if Finland can keep the puck in the offensive zone and win the possession time, I think that would be really good for them. And also their goalies. They have Saros, very good, having a little bit of a down year. But when it comes to the Olympics, people are always at their A game, and he's the guy that can easily flip the switch and turn into a Vezina goaltender right away.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. They're gonna be a contender. Like they're at the Four Nations for a reason. They're gonna be one of the top 4 or 5 contenders for this tournament. The biggest thing holding them back is that they're missing Sasha Barkov.
Yeah, Barkey.
Him being out is a huge loss. I mean, you look at their center depth, and it's still really good. Like Hintz, Aho, Lundell is a great
Yeah.
3 centers. You throw Barkov in there, I mean, like you're talking best 4 centers in the tournament. You can have that conversation, right? So it's unfortunate for them. And last year at the Four Nations, they ran into some injury trouble too, which kind of held them back again. But look, there's enough talent on this roster to play and take a game to any team in this tournament. So if Saros can stand on his head a little bit, there's no reason they can't make a run.
Yeah, exactly. Even without Barks, great roster, top to bottom. We'd expect them to be a contender. And another team that we'll probably expect to be a contender as well, the Swedes.
Yep. Sweden should be top 3, probably should medal in this tournament. I could see them going for a gold medal against Canada in the final. I could see them beating the States in a semifinal if it comes to that. The question for them is, can they match up against USA and Canada? That's the next hurdle. We saw them at Four Nations. They played well. They took Canada to overtime. Now can they do that again? They have a really good roster. Who's going to play in goal? Probably the biggest question, I would say. I would lean towards Gustafsson. He's having probably the best season out of their 3 goalies. But you never know. Maybe they want Wallstedt in there or something. Who knows? But I like their lineup. They got some good checking forwards like Wenberg, Holmberg. Like some people are questioning those decisions, but when you're playing against top players from other nations, you need those guys that are going to shut down and allow your offensive players like Raymond, Nylander, Leo Carlson, all these guys to just go and play offense and score. They're gonna score a lot. Their decor is really like there's just a really good team, and they have a chance to win it like anyone else. So yeah.
I think exactly what Max said. I mean, if like on paper their team's really good, they're going to beat a lot of good teams, but just going to be a matter of if they can beat Canada or USA. And I think their biggest weakness in like when they play Canada USA, I think it's going to be if they can score more than both those teams. I think their decor matches up great against those teams. Goalies probably the better than both those two teams. It's just a matter of their forward. Like they have a lot of really good guys there that can score. Like Elias Pettersson hasn't scored too much, so we'll see if they can score more than US. I mean, obviously you have to score more, but I think that's what's going to stop them from winning.
Yeah. Well, that's going to round out Group B, guys, with Sweden there. We have a couple minutes left, so we're going to quickly go through Group C and start us off with Latvia. How are the Latvians going to do?
Yeah, Latvia, we know what they do. They come in, they play a good structured game, they work hard, and they try to upset. They've gone with the youth that I was talking about earlier for Czechia that they didn't do. Albert Smith's youngest player in the tournament, 18 years old, just played at the World Juniors. Consensus top 10 pick for the upcoming draft. Even I've seen him as high as fourth ranked. So, I mean, great young player. I'm really looking forward to watch him in this tournament. Other than that, they've got some NHL players. Seelov's pretty good young goalie, playing at league average about for Pittsburgh this year. So they're going to be relying on him. If he can't do it, they might look to Mers Lincoln. So they got two guys in nets that they can kind of bounce between. Couple other names you're looking at, Balinskis from Florida. He's won a cup. He knows what it takes to win. So you can't overlook that experience. Teddy Bluger, Zegnas Girgensons, Rudolf Balsers, all these guys played in the NHL. You got some young players too, like Mateko, who's a third-round pick of Washington a couple years ago. Big forward. I really like him, so we'll see what he can do. But, yeah, we know what they're going to do. They're going to come in, work hard, and try to upset.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And that's going to bring us over to Denmark. Are there any thoughts on Denmark in this tournament?
So I think Denmark, you can probably tier them with like Latvia, Italy, and France. But the one thing they have that those other three teams don't is a top line. It might not be a great top line, but they have Lars Eller, Nicola Ehlers. They have a couple guys that can score and outplay those other teams. And they also have Freddie Anderson behind the net, who has had a terrible year. But again, when you're in the Olympics, you're at your best. He wants to win. All those guys want to win. They might be able to steal a couple games.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be a question mark for sure. The Danes, the Latvians, and now we're moving on to Germany. What do we think about the Germans this year?
Germany, personally, really love them because obviously you have Stutzla.
Yeah.
I think if you look at those three players, they might have three of the top players in the tournament, and I think their power play is gonna have to carry them. So if Stutzla can keep diving and they can get a lot of power plays, they might be able to score. They don't really have a defense, so they're gonna have to keep the puck in the offensive zone. But I think what they have that a lot of teams don't is a lot of star power. Like some of the teams have some depth that are kind of like around them, but might not have like the star power. So if Germany's star power can like outplay other teams like depth, then they might be able to go on a run. And I mean, I said that with a lot of teams, but I could see this team playing for like a quarterfinal game and giving up like America a good fight or like Czechia.
Yeah, especially with that power play, right, Max?
Yeah, teams like that, they just have to take care of like the 3-4 games. So like Germany has to beat Latvia if they want a chance to move on. That's kind of the key, right? Like realistically, I mean their group's not super strong. Like Denmark, Latvia, Germany, whoever out of those three beats each other the most will move on and in a good spot because they can move out second in their group. So yeah, these three teams have it pretty nice. Like their group, they're all kind of close to each other.
Yeah.
So that should make for 3 really good games.
Yeah, and we're saying that those teams are going to be fighting for second because there's one team from this group that we're expecting to come first. So why don't we talk about the Americans now?
Yeah, I'll start quickly. I mean, the U.S. is the U.S. They lost to the Four Nations last year. They're to be coming for vengeance. They built this roster looking at that Canada game. They are not worried about any other game except beating Canada. That's why they brought guys like JT Miller and Trocheck over guys like Caulfield, DeBrincat, Robertson. They want physicality and they want play away from the puck. That's how they think they can beat Canada. We'll see if they can. I don't think that will make the difference. Their decor is elite, no doubt about it. Their goaltending, if it shows up, is great, but there's also great scorers on the other side that will score, that will find ways to score. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. Their end goal is beat Canada. That's what they're preparing for. We'll see if they made the right choices.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have a really good team. I think it's their defense is really good, but they're gonna have to have a left shot playing right D because of injuries, and I think their goaltending is a question mark going in. Obviously, they have really good guys, but um, will it be able to stop pucks against a very deep and skilled team like Canada? And I just think there's so many like behind the scenes talk about this team leaving out because like three of the top American scorers all aren't on this team. So I think there's just so much talk behind the scenes. I think America will get upset, and I think Canada's going to be in the final against a team other than America.
Well, there you go. I mean, so many top end players on both of those squads. We've talked about who we think our dark horses are going to be, and who are some squads that are going to surprise us. So that's going to round out Group C, and that is going to conclude our discussion on the Olympics and who we think is going to be doing well. I'd like to thank you guys both very much.
Thank
Some
you.
great points there. Appreciate your time. And the Olympics start next week, the hockey, and we're super excited. So thank you very much.